with the TSA. Recently I went on vacation, kind of first real vacation, and haven't really been on airplanes all so much, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. At my previous place of employment, I was sent out to various sites in Canada, and I think Indiana, but we didn't fly there, to perform some work. And the planes we took there were like really small planes, like 20-seater planes. So nothing like, you know, the big 747 or Airbus or whatever, the larger, you know, seats hundreds of people type planes. So the security process was the same, I guess, but in this case we were going through the security line, and I was waiting. I took off my shoes, my belt, and my wallet, and took everything. I took my laptop out of my bag, and I was waiting to go in between the metal detector or the one that rotates, and there was a line for the regular metal detector. So the guy just told me to, you know, just come through the regular, well, I guess it's not the regular, come through the metal detector, the one that is like a giant circle where you go in and then the scanner rotates around you. So I've never been into one of those before, so I went in and I saw that, you know, I saw like the yellow imprints for your feet, and then the same yellow imprints for your hand position. So I went in, I did that, you know. I went in and it started rotating. And it was like the weird, I guess because I've never really, you know, done that before. Sorry, I'm not really focused, I don't like what's going on with this traffic here. It's a very odd time to have traffic. People are going abnormally slow. So, where was I? Oh yeah, I went through the rotating machine. You know, the one where you put your hands up like this and it scans for you. And you know, that was kind of a cool contraption. I mean, the last time when I went to the airport, they didn't have those, so it must have been a recent development, or at least at this particular airport. As soon as I walk out, he's like, sir, you're gonna have to step aside. Can you take a seat here? And there's a little chair right outside it. And I was like, okay. And I thought it was like one of those like random screenings that you see in the movie that were so random. So then he goes and he's like, sir, what do you have in your back pocket and your front pocket? And he pointed to my right back pocket and my front right pocket. And I told him, I was like, nothing. I took everything out. And then he points to my boarding pass that's sticking out of my pocket. And he's like, sir, what's that? And I look back and I take out my pocket. I was like, ah, crap. I was like, it's my boarding pass. He's like, sir, you're not allowed to have anything in your pocket at this point in the storyline. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't really know. And I told him it was just my boarding pass. So he took my boarding pass, just put it like on the table. And then he's like, sir, what's in your front right pocket? And I was like, nothing. I don't have anything in there. And then I go reach into my pocket, and then my heart just sank because I realized what I had forgotten in there. So I know I had to take my hand out because he was probably going to search me if I didn't, and probably was going to search me if I did. So I slowly pulled my hand out of my pocket, and I pull out some leafy greens. And the stuff wasn't in a bag. It was just in my pocket, raw. And he was like, sir, what is that? And I was like, it's parsley. Because it truly, in fact, was parsley. And it was just like a hilarious culmination of oh crap moment, and I'm an idiot, and how could I forget about this type thing. But it was quite great. So I'll tell you in a second on why I had parsley in my pocket, not even in a bag or anything. But so he was like, sir, you're gonna have to come with me. And I got pretty scared at that point. I had to leave all my stuff, my shoes, my bag, my laptop. I had to leave pretty much everything there, and then follow the security guard or the TSA agent, same. And I followed him, just kind of not that really far, but he had like a kind of like a security desk setup type thing, where he went to his coworker, and he got like, it looked like an alcohol swab, like in those packets, or even like one of those wet naps. He got one of those. He opened it up, and then before that, I asked him, what do I do with it? He's like, well, you can't have any food beyond this point. And I was thinking of like just taking it and downing it and then just eating it, but then I thought that would probably lead to more problems that I did not want. So I just found a garbage and I just threw it in the garbage in front of him. And then that's when he took me over to that other area. And they opened up the con swab thing, and the guy's like, relax, don't be tense. And he just rubbed the inside and the outside of my right hand when that went in my pocket with like that swab thing. And then after a while, I asked him, I was like, what did this do? And he said it was a chemical test, and it'll find chemical residues on my hand. And it felt like it was forever, but it was probably maybe like 5-10 minutes of waiting time. And what's weird is that he didn't know what it was done. He waited for his colleague where he got a swab from to tell him that I was okay. So I don't know if she looked at a computer, or the results somehow turned up at the computer, or there was a scanner above me or something like that, or if it would turn my hand a different color or something. But he looked at his colleague, and she's like, he's okay. And then he sent me on my way. He's like, all right, you can go. And that was it. I went back. I got my bags, got my stuff, and then I was kind of like laughing and crying at the same time. And then what's even funnier is my brother's bag was also like confiscated to be searched through, and all we had in that one was like some spices so we could take to our relatives. Like, I mean, like in 1942 Columbus sailed the oceans blue to go find some spices from India type spices, and because they were like, it's like a packed dense powder, they can probably tell it's a powder, but they stopped and they had to search it. And then once they opened it and smelled it, they didn't actually open like the bag of spices, but they opened where the like the bag that contained the spices in, and they saw like, oh, okay, spices and the smell. But we were also waiting for that for like maybe like 15 minutes. It could have been longer because that's like after I got back from my ordeal. It was like 15 minutes, so it could have been like maybe 20 minutes or so. But it was just a really fun and interesting experience. So why did I have parsley in my pocket? And then two, why did I have parsley in my pocket that wasn't even in a bag or in a napkin or something? It was just raw parsley. So I have this thing where we'll probably have to talk about this in another video, but cheese affects me, but not like lactose intolerant type thing where it hurts my stomach. It's something completely different, and I've been kind of battling this for years now, and doctors haven't been able to figure out, so I kind of stopped being a guinea pig and just know what I need to do, just not eat cheese. But I was going on vacation, so I wanted some cheese. And my brother actually had brought some goldfish with us, or the day before, we're getting ready. He said, don't forget the goldfish. And I was like, but I can't have goldfish because, goldfish has cheese in it. And so we got some fresh parsley from the garden. And so we had the parsley there. And in the morning, we almost forgot about the goldfish. Oh, so my sister had told me, and actually had tried it like maybe two or three times before, where if you eat parsley directly after eating cheese, it's going to counteract the effects of the cheese. Apparently other people have this problem. So I tried it a few times, like I think the week before and then during the same week, in the beginning of the week, and I was fine, which was like really cool and surprising. So I was like, I'm gonna load up on some parsley. So I actually grow parsley in the garden, and I was like, I'm gonna take these for the plane, because the goldfish were to eat on the plane, right? They weren't to eat while we were waiting, because we're not allowed to take certain types of food with us through. So in the morning when I saw the bag goldfish, I was like, hey, don't forget the bag goldfish. And then I saw the bowl of parsley that we had cut up just the day before, and I took a handful of that because we were running late, and I just literally took a handful and then I shoved it in my pocket. And that is why I had parsley in my pocket, raw dog style. And that was my experience at the TSA. Oh man, and when the gentleman's like, sir, when he went to get the alcohol swab, he had to pat me down too. I forgot to mention this. So he had to pat me down, and when he had to pat me down, he had to go get a new glove, and he did it just like they do in the movies. He took off his glove, and then he just, took it, and then he just like snapped it down just like they do in the movies. And it was like just terrifying to see that. Like, why do they have to put gloves on like that? He had to raise his right arm in the air, put on the glove and then snap it back just to make the snap sound. Like, maybe he liked putting fear inside people's head. I don't know. But it was just like the movies, and it worked. Because I was quite terrified. I had never been through an experience like that before, even though now it's like extremely laughable. But it was pretty hilarious. So after I got back, like they, all our relatives were asking us, how was your flight? And I told them the Kravis story, and they couldn't stop laughing. So they made me tell the story like 3 or 4 other times. To my other relatives that, after they came home from work and such, and it was just hilarious. Great learning experience. And then everyone kept making fun of me afterwards about if I wanted some, some parsley, or, if I wanted to put some in my pocket, or anytime there was any like random food or something, like, hey, do you want to put some in your pocket for later? So I would tell them yes, and that they wouldn't give it to me to put in my pocket. But that was my experience, my most recent experience with the TSA. It was quite hilarious. It's pretty funny, pretty scary at the same time. But that's all I really want to talk about. I don't want to keep retelling the story like a million times, so I figured I would just put it in here and then just direct my friends and or family to the video, so they can just watch it here, or I'll probably just retell it too. Who knows? But that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And have a good day.